Hey guys, it's Brian Rosner with the Anti-Lyme Journal. This is going to be a big topic today, so I'm going to move pretty quick. Today we're going to be talking about inflammation. That's a huge, important topic when it comes to healing from Lyme disease. Inflammation occurs even when there's very few bacteria left in the body, and it really can cause a lot of the symptoms that are ongoing. So we're going to be looking at my favorite inflammation supplements here in a minute. I'm going to take a few seconds on each one to explain to you why I like them so much and how they could be so helpful. But first, the basics. Inflammation, the most important way to control inflammation is with your diet. That means avoiding gluten and not eating sugar and processed carbohydrates. I really like the paleo diet. In my book, Freedom from Lyme Disease, I talk about the paleo diet. And, you know, there's quite a bit to go into with the paleo diet. I'm not really going to describe it right now. But avoiding those processed carbohydrates and fruit and sugar as much as possible is a really good idea. Obviously, you don't want to have blood sugar crashes and you don't want to be completely carbohydrate deprived. So you can eat some, but just go easy on those. And that will cut down inflammation tremendously. So avoiding things you're allergic to and avoiding sugar is a huge thing. Don't even bother with taking any of these supplements if you're not going to do those two steps. So let's jump right into this here. These are my favorite anti-inflammatory supplements. This combination right here is my absolute favorite. Sorry for the mess in my office, you guys. This is a working office, so there is a lot of stuff happening here. But this special type of curcumin, C3 curcumin, and Boswellia, this is a great brand of Boswellia. These together, taken before bed, one capsule each, just completely helps with inflammation. So I really, really recommend those. Coriolis mushroom helps balance the immune system, and there's been studies that show that it raises the CD57 count, so that's a good one. Benicar is part of the Marshall Protocol, and this definitely helps with a specific type of inflammation that Lyme sufferers need to worry about. So the mushroom formulas, this is just one brand that I have, but this has a mixture of shiitake, cordyceps, lion's mane, maitake, reishi, and a bunch of others. And this is what's called an immunomodulator, and that helps to increase immune activity where it's needed and decrease it where it's not needed. So the mushrooms are great. I really like this transfer factor from Research Nutritionals. Also helps to stimulate and balance the immune system. Low dose naltrexone. You guys have probably heard of this. It's abbreviated LDN. You do need a prescription for it. And this is a unique way to kind of calm down the immune system. Really, really helpful. It's one of those things that is really useful. Okay, so this is a hemp oil extract. It's part of the cannabis plant. Part of the marijuana plant is illegal to use. That would be the I might be wrong about this, but either the stem or the leaves. You obviously need like you have to have a medical reason. You have to get a prescription and all that stuff. But there are certain other parts like the hemp oils that are concentrated and have some of the active ingredients that can help decrease inflammation. Obviously, check your state. I don't want to be telling anybody to do something illegal, so make sure that using this and buying this is legal in your area. But in most places, you can get hemp extracts, and you do have to be careful because one of the ways that they decrease inflammation, if you look at the studies, is they actually can cripple the immune system and atrophy some immune cells. So you do have to be careful with this stuff. If your body's actively fighting, you don't necessarily want to cripple it. So just be careful. Do your homework. Gosh, we've got so many more to go. I'm going to have to move quickly. Diethylcarbamazine is a novel anti-parasitic pharmaceutical prescription required. It's sort of along the lines of ivermectin and Alinea and albendazole. This one is really interesting, though. If you read the studies on it, it also modulates the immune system and protects the liver. So it's a fascinating drug in that it can lead to symptom improvement because it kills the infections, but also it modulates the immune system and protects the liver. I've just found this to be such a useful tool that I really wish I would have had 10 years ago. Super important. Diethylcarbamazine. So far, we've talked about 2 chapters in my book today, the new book, Freedom from Lyme Disease. And the 2 chapters I would point you to in this book would be, number 1, the paleo diet chapter, where I talk about paleo diet as relates to inflammation. And then there's also an anti-parasite chapter in here that goes into a lot of detail on diethylcarbamazine and a bunch of other anti-parasitic drugs. Super important, super useful new drugs that we didn't have years ago. There's a couple of clinicians that I could thank for these discoveries. Certainly not my discoveries, but really, really helpful information if you guys haven't seen that yet. Okay, then there's Epicor and AHCC. These are 2 very unique immune supplements that I sometimes take together that have a profound effect on the immune system and can really help with inflammation. Another mushroom, I get the mushroom formulation sometimes together, sometimes separately. This is Cordyceps, really, really good one. So that goes along in the mushroom category. Tart cherry. You could buy these for about $8 a bottle. Tart cherry concentrated is a great anti-inflammatory in the body. A lot of research if you search PubMed. So great tool there. Microchitosan or chitosan, however you want to pronounce it. This is a toxin absorber, and there's some other brands, but I really like the Nutricology brand. And this actually gets in your blood and sops up the Lyme disease toxin. So the causes of the inflammation, those toxins, are actually eliminated. Great for when you're herxing or when you're really not feeling great. Just super wonderful supplement. I'm so grateful for this one. Okay, another kind of curcumin. Curcumin is the word you want to remember when it comes to inflammation. This is a liposomal version. It's called Meriva 500 by Thorne. So this one, along with this one, I do notice different effects from these. And so this is really my favorite. But this one is good too. And you've got liposomal, and then you've got the C3 formulation. You really need to kind of experiment and see which one works best for you. Another individual mushroom that I have here, the reishi mushroom. We already talked about mushrooms. I have this new life extension formula called Cytokine Suppress. And this is one that, obviously cytokines are inflammation. So this one has several ingredients in it that you might want to check out. Pretty interesting. Astragalus, this is a double-edged sword. It definitely helps the immune system and calms things down. But there are some warnings with this, like, it can drive conditions deeper in the body, and it has some other interesting issues. So, as with everything in my videos, use only under the care of a physician. But this is a powerful one. Use it carefully. Don't just start gobbling it down. Oh, this is one of my favorites, Wabenzym. Okay, so these are systemic enzymes. When you take them with food, they help you digest your food, but that's not what we want to do. When you take them without food, on an empty stomach, some of them get absorbed systemically, and they actually break down proteins in the body. And so where you have inflammation and where you have fibrin and where you have, Lyme disease, biofilms, and junk, this just kind of digests everything in its path. And the human tissues can recover quickly from the protein digestion. It has a negligible effect on human tissues, but those other, foreign tissues and circulating immune complexes, this stuff is really, really awesome to have. I mean, this is such an important tool. If I didn't have this, I would get on an airplane and fly 2,000 miles to get this if I had to. Really, really good stuff. Okay, now this, be aware, the GC-MAF treatment activates macrophage cells. This does the opposite of reduce inflammation. I just put it in here because it's interesting, but don't use this if you want to reduce inflammation. This actually makes your immune system kind of go crazy and go after any remaining supplement or any remaining infections. The experts wouldn't like how I just described it, but that's my understanding of it. This stuff can throw your body for a loop. If you're looking to try the GC-MAF treatment, it can be a little bit tricky to try. There's probiotics, there's injectables, which obviously I don't want to do any injectables. And they're in Europe, and they're expensive. They're hard to find. This is the first one that I found that's pretty affordable. And it's a cream, so it doesn't require any injections or anything. And I think it works. It really is powerful stuff, but be super, careful with this stuff. It can really throw your body for a loop. It can really activate inflammation. So anyway, that was a little antithesis of our theme here on inflammation. This stuff can cause inflammation, but it's an interesting supplement to talk about. Of course, talk to your doctor before you try it. I am not a doctor. This is just my own personal research on this stuff. Okay, getting close to the end here. Probiotics. This is a probiotic brand that I've used. The reason I put probiotics in here is there was a new study that showed that probiotics actually can modulate inflammation and help the immune system in your gut. And so it's an important thing to be doing if you're not already taking them. You don't have to use this brand, but just any brand of probiotics. That's another one. And then this stuff is pretty interesting. There's a whole new treatment. Well, it's not new, but a lot of people like to do the bee sting treatment. Bee venom has been shown promising for multiple sclerosis and inflammation and autoimmune diseases and all kinds of stuff. And, I didn't have the inclination or desire or capacity to go get stung by bees, but I did find out that you can get this bee ointment. It has bee venom in it, and it's like an ointment that you can just rub on your skin, and it sort of simulates the bee stings. I don't know if it's as powerful, but it's had some profound effects for me. The big warning on this is if you are allergic or maybe allergic to bee stings, this stuff can kill you. So I'm certainly not recommending that you use it without, your doctor and without proper precautions because of possible allergies. It really can kill you if you're allergic to bees. I am not allergic to bees, so it's worked out okay for me. But like I said, please do not use this video as instructions to go use this stuff. You really do need to be under the care of a doctor because the allergic reactions can be pretty intense. So anyway, bee venom, interesting, promising new treatment for anti-inflammatory purposes. So we're hitting 12 minutes here, so that's really as long as I want to go. But inflammation is a really, really important topic, and if you can use some of these tactics to control inflammation, you can really, really feel better and heal faster. Remember, though, the first thing is diet. Sugar and inflammatory foods, processed foods, if you're not going to cut those out, it really doesn't matter what else you're going to do. So this is Brian Rosner with the Anti-Lyme Journal. Please remember, I am not a doctor. I've never played one on TV, and I don't pretend to be one. I'm just a Lyme disease researcher and author. So if you are going to want to try any of these treatments, please make sure you clear it with your physician first. This video is not intended to replace real medical advice. It's just intended to show you some research that I've done. So thank you so much for watching. The Anti-Lyme Journal has been an awesome project for me. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I plan to continue doing it as long as you guys want to keep subscribing to it. It's really cool for me to be able to share this stuff with you guys. Thanks so much for watching.